What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more of The Glove, and we're returning to Blue Sunshine, 1983. Thank you, as always, to Nicola. And the next track in the playlist is A Blues in Drag, a title with a bit of poetry to it. I'm inclined to see the first part of the name in the context of blues, the musical form, which of course is also an emotional description. In drag, I feel it's probably related to the concept of drag, which is, I think, exaggerated gender-based performance, both masculine and feminine, though I think typically it's thought of in the vein of feminine performance, often done in cross-dressing, though I don't think that's a necessary element, just a very common and even ubiquitous part of it. But of course, in drag might have some other meaning here. I don't quite know what to make of the title. I'll try to catch what I can. This is The Glove. The track is A Blues in Drag, and it's from the 1983 album Blue Sunshine. What a beautiful tune. A rich, expressive, and especially melodic soundscape. It's funny, oftentimes when I hear an instrumental track, I'll say afterward that, okay, so, we didn't really get insight into the lyric or into the themes because there weren't any words to convey semantic meaning, although in some cases, perhaps, the sonics are directly related to a word or more in the title. But here, I actually feel like I took more away from the potential meaning of the title than you would expect, given that it is an instrumental, which is further to say, I talk about in a lot of blues reactions I've done, that one of the foundational or fundamental fundamental characteristics of the blues is that they're melancholy, they're pained, they're sad, but they are persistent. They speak to at least some measure of hope, often expressed in the form of the world's against me, but I'm still here, and I'm lamenting the way that I've been treated or the way that fate has gone for me, and looking for some sort of recognition or even sympathy in light of these unjust circumstances. So there's again a degree of endurance that comes through in the typical lyrics of a blues song. And here, there's a melancholy to the piece, there's an elegant sadness, but there is also this melodic hope that comes through in the sonics, maybe most notably in that violin line, which was really rich and beautiful. So yes, it's not what you typically think of when you think of the musical framework of a blues tune, but maybe that's the idea in drag. It's like a blues track, but gendered, if you will, in a way that makes it hit differently, sound differently, come across differently than a normal blues tune. So maybe I'm reading too much into it. Again, it's up for interpretation. It is, of course, an instrumental track, and the title itself already has a personification or metaphor built into it. But yeah, I felt the melancholy and hope that I often think about and experience when listening to, let's say, a proper blues track. So yeah, basically that's my best guess at what the essence of the title might be, but a very beautiful track. Again, loved the violin in particular, and then the sort of like forte style piano keys really were a nice contrast or balance with the more steady and sonorous violin parts. So yeah, very atmospheric, very rich and enjoyable. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.